everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. Today we'll be starting with a new chapter, that is direction sense. This video is about the introduction of it. Very basics we'll see. So direction sense, okay. In this chapter usually you will find one question almost every year. Okay. Sometimes we have seen two, and in rare cases we have not seen a question in a particular year. But usually you can expect one question from this chapter. Fairly easy chapter. Everybody without any background, nothing they have done. If you are just right away watching this video and watch the series of videos, you will learn direction sense. You will be able to do that one question. It's simple. Okay. Now, so first thing is about the directions. So as you can see, I've already drawn it. So this is northeast, southwest. You know this. This is northeast, northwest, north, southwest, southeast. Just exactly at what angle? Exactly at 45 degrees. This also you know that angle between these two white ones, that is south and west, this will be equal to 90 degree, correct? And the angle between this yellow one and this white one is 45 degree. Now the white ones are called major directions and the yellow ones are called minor directions. So angle between adjacent adjacent minor adjacent minor and major direction is 45 degree. Okay, this you understand. Then angle between adjacent major and major and directions is 90 degree. Similarly, angle between adjacent minor and minor direction is also 90 degree. That is between northeast and southeast. Correct? Easy. Then after this, now let's see this. Now, how do you identify? So in questions from direction sense, a typical question would be like a person leaves his house in east direction, then he moves 10 meter in the west direction, then he moves left, then he moves right, then he moves forward, then he takes a right. Okay, so this right, left, whatever is being given, that you have to find out. So a person leaves towards north direction, then he turns right. So right means this direction. Now, how do you identify all these directions? So let's draw this. Now, if a person is going north, if a person is going north, this is east, south, and west. Now, if a person is going north, which direction would be his right? So if I am going north, if I am going towards north, this will be my right. So if it says a person going north goes for 20 meters and then turns right and covers 10 meters. So you know 20 meters like this, then turns right. So in this direction and 10 meters. So this is right, and for person going north, this is left. Similarly, if a person is going east, let's say I'm going in east direction, then left is above. So this is left and this is right. So if I'm going in east direction, then right would be down south. Now, similarly, you can find here for this one, that is when I'm going in west direction. So my right is towards the upper side. So when it says goes right, so this is upper direction, that is north direction. And when it says left, then you go south direction. Similarly, here also, if you see this left and right and this left and right are exactly opposite when they are moving in different direction, in just opposite direction. Similarly, what you have for south will be just opposite of what you have for north. So if you can imagine, then if I am going south, that is towards like this, then this will be my left and this will be my right. So this is left and this is right, exactly opposite to what is for the north. Now, how do you remember this? So there are two ways to remember this. Two things you have to remember, because every time you cannot be doing this with your hands. Correct. So one way is, you see this, the main problem people face is with respect to when they are going south. So one thing you can remember like this, that is if you are going down like this, then if you have to turn left, then this forms an L. That's why I've written left. So when you're making south, immediately, left means I have to make an L, because left starts with L. That's it. So this is one diagram, and the other diagram, if you watch carefully, this is actually forming a swastika. Okay, so if, as you know, swastika is a religious symbol, so let's consider it correct. So that means let's consider it right. So all this are telling you about which direction is right. Can you see all of it? This one, this right, then that right, then this right, then that's right. So by swastik, you can remember which direction is right. Simple. So these are the two things you have to remember. With this, you will always know the direction. And also when you solve questions, so if you keep solving questions immediately, then this will become very habitual for you. So don't even think you won't even think about all this. You will just draw it correctly. Just this people still use, like I also, when I'm going south, I know this is left by L. So that is in the back of my mind. Okay, so this is about directions. Then one more thing is there, this you already know. If it is a clock like this, if I go in this direction, this is called clockwise, and if I go in this direction, this is called anti-clockwise. So clockwise looks like this is clockwise, and anti-clockwise looks like this. So if ever you get confused between clockwise and anti-clockwise, just keep drawing the angle till you reach 12. At 12 you will see clearly. If it is moving ahead of 12, that is towards 1, then it is clockwise. If it is moving behind or behind the 12, then you know this is anti-clockwise. Just a thing. So clockwise and anti-clockwise you understand. Now see this. Now if you see a person is going north like this, then he turns right. So can you see, from going in this direction he turns in this direction. What is this angle? If you see, this is going clockwise. Similarly, this person is going in this direction, this person is going in this direction, then he turns right. Right means what? This direction. Now this is what? This is again clockwise. Similarly, this person is going in this direction, then he turns towards right. What is this angle? If you extend it, it is going 12 to 1, that is clockwise. Similarly, if you are going in this direction, you turn like this, then this also gives you clockwise. That means simply you can remember two things, that whenever it says that a person turns to his left, or turns in anti-clockwise direction, this means the same thing. Correct? Similarly, for if it says a person turns right, or they say that a person turns in clockwise direction, that also is same. So anti-clockwise direction is equals to left, and clockwise direction is equals to right. So turns towards his right, that means turns in clockwise direction. Turns towards his left, that means in anti-clockwise direction. That's it. Okay. Then generally, if the question only says that a person going north move towards his left. So in general, that is unless otherwise mentioned, we assume angle is equals to 90 degree. That is, if I am telling you a person is going in this direction and then he turns right. Now you don't assume right to be like slightly right like this or very right like this. You always mostly assume right means what? 90 degrees. That only you have to assume. Now if it is mentioned that a person moving in this direction, then he turns 45 degree towards his right. So his right is this direction, so 45 degree, then you have to think about the angle. Otherwise, if nothing is given, turns towards his right, that means simply 90 degree. That. Now Now we come to some important mathematical concepts that will be used. Some mathematical concepts that will be used. So this chapter, first thing is Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem, you all might be knowing this. This is a right angle triangle. Let's say A, B, A, B, C. Okay, then clearly you can see, hypotenuse square is equals to this square plus this square. So Pythagoras theorem is nothing but, so this is hypotenuse, this is called hypotenuse, this is called base, and this is called height. Okay, so hypotenuse square is equals to base square plus height square. This is Pythagoras theorem. We'll be using this in most cases when we have to find distances. So two things we usually use in this. One is this Pythagoras theorem and other is rectangles. That's it. Rectangles. So if there is a diagram like this, let's say there is a diagram like this, then you need to find this length. Let's say this length you have to find. So what you will do, you will first draw this, extend it like this, so that this forms a rectangle, because you know opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So you get length by this, and the other thing is you always drop it perpendicular, so that this forms a right angle triangle. So these are the two things we usually use. One is making rectangles, other is making right angle triangles. Then now you can remember some Pythagorean triplets. Now this you of course know that sum of angles of a triangle is equals to 180 degree. So sum of angles of triangle, this is equals to 180 for every triangle. Now some Pythagorean triplets that you can remember. Okay, so these are called Pythagorean triplets. If you remember them, you won't have to calculate, you won't have to think much. Okay, so Pythagorean triplet, the most famous one, that is 3, 4, 5. Then what else? 6, 8, 10 is also very famous. That means 6 square plus 8 square. 6 square is 36. 36 plus 8 square is 64. So total 100. That only. So that becomes equal. Now next is 5, 12, 13. Next is 9, 12, 15. Next is 8, 5, 17. Then 12, 16, 20. And last 7, 24, 25. Okay, just have a look at them. If you can remember them, it's good. It will be used in other chapters also, like number system and all. Everywhere you can see this triplets being used. So just at least remember these many triplets. Then last concept of mathematics that we use is called bigger the angle. This implies or implies back bigger the side. This is in a triangle. So in a triangle, bigger the angle, this implies bigger the side, or bigger the side implies bigger the angle. For example, see this triangle. Now which is the biggest side? Clearly this is the biggest side, not longest side. Then see which angle is the biggest. So this is this angle, this angle. Which angle do you think is biggest? Yes. So bigger the side, opposite to it, you will have bigger angle. This is how it works. So if I tell you, let's say you don't even know the length, and I tell you that this is 60 degree, this is 30 degree, and this is 90 degree. Which side will be the longest? Correct. Opposite to the 90 degree, this will be the longest. second will be this opposite to 60 degree, third will be opposite to 30 degree. So always whenever you have to think, then you want if bigger angle will be corresponding to bigger side or bigger side will be corresponding to bigger angle within a triangle. Of course, if you draw a triangle like this and compare it to this, okay, and then you say this angle is bigger, this angle is small, but still this side, no, within a triangle this always holds true. So if within a triangle you get to know that one of the side is bigger, then you know the corresponding angle will be bigger or vice versa. That's it. These are the basic concepts. Next class we'll start seeing some basic questions. That's it. Thank you.